Here's my review of My Hero Academia, Chapter 237, Tomura Shigaraki Origins. Different from the Tenko Shimura origins we've seen in the last two chapters, with Tomura meaning to mourn, and Shigaraki being the last name of All for One, which I don't think we knew that, so I'm not sure. It does mean, though, that the founder, the original One for All's last name is also Shigaraki, which, interesting. I always call him Shigaraki, so now that name refers not only to him, but to All for One and the original user of One for All. It's just interesting. And so we finally see what happened to, I guess it's fair to call him Shigaraki now at least, after he killed his family. He ran away from home, unsure of what to do, and I honestly don't know how. I kind of feel like after everything he did, he should have just, collapsed on the ground and passed out or something. But somehow after all that, he had the mental fortitude to decide, I should get out of here at like 5 years old. I guess, for the plot to keep moving forward, he had to have, escaped. But I just can't see for the life of me how he could have done that. And as he wanders the street looking destroyed and alone and dirty and in pain, people just pass right by him. They're scared of him. They say, oh, I'm sure the hero or police will show up to help you at some point. But no one did. Nobody called the police. Nobody called the hero. Nobody stepped out to help him. As he said, he thought it was because he was being punished for killing his family. And even now he says to himself, if only back then anyone had reached out to help. I mean, he's really not wrong. If somebody had stepped in, if somebody had offered him guidance, had offered him help, he would not be who he is now. He could have gotten the proper therapy, the proper help he needed to not become what he is now, to deal with the emotions of killing his family. Hell, maybe even have his own hands cut off so he wouldn't accidentally kill anyone anymore. That'd certainly be helpful. Really, after reading this chapter, it really does feel like Tenko and Shigaraki are two completely separate people. I mean, there's this overwhelming urge inside of him to destroy and kill everything around him. And yet, there's still another part of him, a part that is arguably human, is arguably the one that wants to be a hero, who holds back, who resists on the urge to destroy, even though it physically hurts him not to destroy everything around him. And as All for One explains, the family's hands act as restraints, holding him back, keeping him, even if he doesn't remember actually killing them, just seeing them create such a feeling of unease and despair inside of him that it's holding his quirk back. It's keeping him from using the full extent of his powers. Which is honestly kind of terrifying. And we see him now in this battle taking a step forward, learning how to do more things than he thought was possible, like destroying buildings or spreading his decay through the ground or whatever he touches so that it can kill anything that's touching what he's touching. I mean, these were abilities he had way back when. But his family, their hands, that feeling of unease, and honestly maybe even a little bit of guilt about what he did, they kept him from using the full strength of his power, from really going crazy. And now that he's finally remembered, now that he's freed of all those memories, of all the pain and unease and uncertainty about his past and who he was, he realizes that these binds, these chains that held him down were unnecessary. And he destroys his father's hand. He destroys the last thing that was holding him back, keeping him from moving forward, keeping him from using the full strength of his powers. And now we have Shigaraki Unchained, the true ultimate version of himself. And Jesus Christ, that's terrifying. I mean, this has been Shigaraki with chains, bound up, unable to use the full abilities. But now, I really don't know what he's going to be capable of. I mean, Giganto's coming in to, I guess, save him, maybe kill him. I'm honestly not sure at this point. And we still have Redestro right next to him. So, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Shigaraki managed to kill both of them. I really wouldn't. I mean, Giganto is definitely, I can say fairly enough on their side, working for them. At least more than Redestro, and he's certainly loyal to the Doctor, but I could definitely see Shigaraki just killing him right here and now as a sign of his power, even just defeating both of them. I mean, I was gonna say maybe he'd let him live after he beat him, but that would be too cumbersome. It'd be sort of things that he would define as being unnecessary. So yeah, definitely a weird chapter to say the least. So also one other thing I want to mention: after he killed off those thugs, he got new hands, but 5 hands, with All For One explaining that extra one was for a replacement for his father's hand, which he destroyed. And yet it kind of looks like a female hand. I'm not exactly sure how All For One might have done it, but I think it's possible that's the hand of Shigaraki's grandmother. I mean, the last user of One For All. I'm not sure why he would still have her hand or any part of her still preserved, but if so, that would be a extra layer of disturbing on him. I don't know, maybe... again, I was going to say maybe he just needed the extra hand to make the numbers even on him, because that's how it was in the first design for Shigaraki, but I don't think that's the case, because the hand on his face has always been that of his father. When the hand fell down, you know, when Bako knocked down the hand way back when, he looked at it and said father, so it was always meant to be that one singular hand belonged to his father. So I feel like there had to be a purpose behind the rest of these hands. There's a reason why this exact number of hands had to be on him, but honestly, I'm not sure at this point. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Shigaraki's been unchained. Can he defeat Redestro? Can he defeat Giganto? Can he beat both of them? That'd really be impressive. Be sure to like, subscribe. Until next time, peace.